Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. The number to call, 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. If you'd like product information, if you'd like information about the health opportunity or the wealth opportunity that we're involved with, that number, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. Now, tomorrow night, as part of my webinar series, once a month we have a free webinar for the public. Otherwise, to get access to the webinars, which we do 4 times a week, you have to be a subscriber, a Dr. Glidden Insider, by purchasing a subscription to my online health recovery program. But tomorrow night, it's a free webinar for anybody who wants to come, and we have an unlimited number of spaces in the room. Tomorrow night's webinar topic: how to party like a rock star and still ace your exams. That's right, I said it out loud. How to party like a rock star and still ace your exams. Nutritional strategies for back to school college students. Nutritional strategies for back to school college students. If you know anybody in your life that's a college student, they're going to need to be on this webinar. I'm going to give you holistic hangover solutions. We're going to tell you how to make your brain work better. We're going to dial it right in for you right here tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central Time on FireYourMDNow.com. Just go to FireYourMDNow.com and check it out. Now, listen, I'm like Sherlock Holmes. I don't have an eidetic memory like Sherlock Holmes. Remember, Sherlock Holmes was fictional. I'm real. But I'm like a dog with a bone. I hate being stumped. Erica's got me stumped here, so I'm going to give her a little more time live on the radio to try to figure this out and dial this in, because there's got to be something that I'm missing. So, Erica, welcome back. Are you still with me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so let me get this straight. For a year, you've been gluten-free and taking the longevity nutritional supplements, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Now, what things have you seen improve over the course of this 12-month period? What has gotten better?
I have more energy, and I feel clear-headed as well, too. And I just feel really good overall. However,
okay, so all right, very good. So we have to do this in steps, otherwise, because this is how my brain works. Okay, so there has been noticeable, measurable improvement. However, we're still up against some things. So give me a list of the things that still bother you on a regular basis. You said headaches. What else are bothering you?
Yes, I also have eye issues. I get a lot of flashes of the eyes.
What do you mean, flashes in the eyes?
They're like little lights on the side that appear out of nowhere. Or if I get
yeah, okay. Have you been to an ophthalmologist or an eye doctor and they've looked in the back of your eye and told you how healthy your retina is? Have you done that?
Yeah.
And what did they say?
They said that I have iritis.
Yeah, of course they will.
Dr. Glidden, I was just like a little frustrated, because it's like I go to doctor and one person tells me one thing, another person tells me. That's why I'm on board with longevity. I cannot keep on seeing people pulling me here in every direction.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy making, isn't it? I mean, it's like being married to an alcoholic. It's like, oh, well, you don't know which person's going to show up. It's just nuts. I mean, it's nuts. So I'm with you 100%. But we have to dial in the specific program for the specific situation here, right? So this is why I'm asking these questions. Hopefully we'll be able to get to the bottom of it. So you got these flashes on the side of the eye, but the medical doctors doesn't say anything's really wrong. They say, oh, it's iritis, which is fancy schmancy doctor talk, by the way, for you have a problem with your eyes. All right, what else you got?
I also have exostosis on the condyle on my right side.
Okay. What else you got?
And mild hyperplasia on the right side as well, too. And I don't know if this is from bruxism.
Yeah, it's from grinding your teeth at night most commonly. It can also be caused by chronic mineral deficiencies over time. By the way, we're talking about jaw stuff, ladies and gentlemen. She has problems with her jaws. Have you ever had TMJ or jaws that click or jaws that lock up on you, or is this more or less kind of a background thing that doesn't really show up?
No, I've had that. I'm getting treated for it. That's why this person, the dentist, sent me to get they're saying that it might be rheumatological, or he also sent me to an endocrinologist.
Yeah. So that was the wrong place to go. All right. So
it probably was, right. And it also it ruined my bite as well, too.
That's interesting. All right. So what other active symptoms are you bothered by on a day-to-day basis? You have insomnia or anxiety or heartburn or constipation or diarrhea or eczema or high blood pressure? I mean, what else besides the headaches and this flashing in the eyes are you up against every day?
I have neck pain, the jaw pain, and also I do have eczema that I get. And
is the eczema a constant companion, or does the eczema come and go?
No, it's there all the time. It's been there for 2 years, and it hasn't gone away on my face. Okay,
so that is, and the blood sugar issue that we talked about in the first segment, guaranteed are caused by essential fatty acid deficiencies or aggravated by essential fatty acid deficiencies. So one of the things that you need to dial in here is you have to find an omega-3 and an omega-6 and maybe even omega-9 supplement that don't come from fish, because your body has trouble with fish. Why does your body have trouble with fish? Because you have a leaky gut. Why do you have a leaky gut? Because for 30 years before you met us, you ate wheat, barley, rye, and oats, and those things hammered the health of your intestinal tract. Now you're recovering from this, but it's going to take might take 3 years for your gut to heal and get you on the other side of your preponderance to generate food allergies. So in the meantime, you need to get, especially in the face of the eczematous condition, a supplement, an essential fatty acid supplement that doesn't come from fish. And Longevity has one. It's called Prohoba Omega. You might want to check that out. You could probably find an EFA supplement over the counter. The first one that springs to my mind, believe it or not, is hemp oil. Hemp oil, if you can find it in capsules. See, this is the problem with essential fatty acids sold over the counter, because 99 times out of 100, they're bottles of oil rather than encapsulated gel caps. The encapsulated gel caps are way better for you. All right, so that's one of the things that you need to do. And what else are you bothered by? Is there anything else on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, it's driving me crazy. For the last month, I've had ear issues. I feel like they have water in them, and they're also constant wax buildup. I can clean my ears every day and they'll still be waxed there. And it's it's pressure, and I feel like there's water moving in there, and it's the most annoying thing in both ears.
And that's been happening. It is a very annoying thing. That's been happening for the last month?
Yeah.
Well, it's because there's water in there, and the wax is blocking the water. So you have to go. Now, this is one of the rare instances where, actually pharmaceuticals can help, because they've got this stuff at CVS called Debrox, D-E-B like baby, R-O-X. It's these oil drops that you put inside the ear canal at night before you go to bed. It eats away at the wax. And then they give you this little syringe. It's like a little blue rubbery water syringe. You suck up warm water into it and squirt the warm water into the ear, and it flushes out the wax. I have the same problem. I don't need to, clean my ears out nearly as much as you do, but invariably there's a chunk of wax stuck deep inside maybe both canals that you just haven't been able to get out. So do the Debrox thing, and then rinse the ear canal with warm water 2, 3, 4 times in the morning when you wake up. That should eliminate that problem almost immediately. Now, are you taking any selenium at all?
Yes, I take 3 capsules once a day.
Okay, so the only thing really that I'd like to see you add to the program moving forward here is I'd like you to do 9 selenium supplements a day, 9 selenium a day, and find an essential fatty acid supplement. And you can back off on the minerals and the calcium. You're only 100 pounds, so I would back off to 2 ounces of the minerals a day and 2 ounces of the white liquid calcium a day. Keep taping everything else and add the essential fatty acids and 9 more selenium, because your body needs the selenium for eye health. You've got a problem with the eye health here. I really think that the essential fatty acid thing is going to be a game changer for you. That's what I would do next for the next 4 weeks. Okay, Erica?
I will try that, and I'll call you with an update. One more question, Dr. Glidden. What are your thoughts on coffee enemas?
Love them. Coffee enemas are great, but coffee enemas are part of a cleansing. It's a cleanse that you give to the body. I've had 3 remarkable cures in my life. 3 remarkable cures in my life. 2 were with fasting and colon hydrotherapy. And 1 was with a homeopathic medicine. So I'm a big fan of colonics and enemas and, therapeutic hydrotherapy. In naturopathic medicine, that's what it's referred to, hydrotherapy. The problem is that you can get crazy addicted to enemas and colonics and stuff like that. That's not a good idea. But to use a coffee enema or any type of an enema and or colonic hydrotherapy irrigation as part of, twice a year cleanse, that's a very, very, very smart idea. It's a very, very good idea. You would get more bang from your buck from that if you did home enemas in association with a series of 3 colonics, a series of 3 colon hydrotherapy irrigations, done on 3 consecutive days, or Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So go into the yellow pages, do a Google search for a colon hydrotherapist or colonic, because most states license and regulate the administration of colon hydrotherapy. I love colon hydrotherapists. If you can find a good colon hydrotherapist, they're worth their weight in gold. If you've never had a colonic, ladies and gentlemen, it's not nearly, they're painless. It's a little, it's a little funny the first time that you have it done, but once you get beyond the weird factor, which only lasts for about 5 seconds, it's a really, really, really good thing to do as part of the cleansing program. Erica, call me back in 3 weeks. I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is Fire Your MD Now. Tomorrow night, it's our free monthly webinar, How to Party Like a Rock Star and Still Ace Your Exams. Check it out, fireyourmdnow.com. 866-582-9933, that's the number to call, 866-582-9933. We're going to go to San Diego now and talk to Baker. Hey, Baker, thanks for waiting so long. You are live.
Yeah, thank you. I'm calling actually on behalf of a friend of mine, a 72-year-old man who had a triple bypass 3 years ago and had a disc condition. Are you familiar with that?
I am, yeah.
Like degenerative, like arthritis. He's on 9 different medications.
Yeah.
He does actually do like flax and a multivitamin. But he has this bleeding that happens in his eye.
Yeah.
And he's been to the doctor, and the doctor said, it's pretty common. It's going to happen about twice a year, but it's happened about 4 times within 6 months.
Yeah.
And would this be due to the medications, or?
Well, yes and no. Now, he had a triple bypass surgery, right? Does he have high blood pressure or arthritis? He's got arthritis, right? He's got DISH.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, okay. So the arthritic condition, right, is caused by not enough minerals, especially calcium and magnesium, unless your foot's been run over by a car, and that's why you have arthritis in the foot, right? There can be traumatic arthritis, but most of the time the arthritic condition, it's a simple mineral deficiency syndrome. Inflammation of the arteries, which then causes cholesterol deposition, is an inflammatory condition. It's got nothing to do with cholesterol. It's an inflammatory condition in the arteries. That's caused by consistent consumption of all the wrong foods. Now, when somebody goes to, a lopsided, old-fashioned, outdated MD delivering archaic therapeutics based on a one-trick pony mentality, reductionistic worldview, then the MDs, they're like the Borg from Star Trek, right? They want you to be, you got a problem with your heart, let's yank the heart, give you a mechanical heart. You got a problem with your arteries, let's put stents in the arteries. Let's rip an artery out of your leg and stick it in your heart. Let's rip an artery out of a pig and stick it in your heart. Let's give you a fake knee. Let's give you a fake shoulder. Let's give you fake teeth. Let's fuse the vertebrae in your neck. Let's hack your stomach out. Let's do a bypass. Let's take the gallbladder. Let's take the appendix. Let's give you every joint in your body. Let's give you a titanium one, right? And this is how they think. So because they did the bypass surgery, he's needed to be on all these medications. Now, medications work in your body by upregulating or down-regulating, as the case may be, biochemical pathways in the body, right? That's how they work. And this means, interestingly, I don't know why anybody thinks about this or says this, I do. The more drugs that you take, the more nutrients you lose, because drugs work by burning through nutrients in the body. I mean, that's how they work. You step on the gas, you burn through the gasoline and the oil and everything else in the car, right? The faster it goes, the more raw materials it uses. It's the same with your body. When you mess with your body's biochemistry with drugs, for better or for worse, you're going to burn through your body's nutrients, and this is going to accelerate the genesis of chronic diseases, because all chronic diseases have their roots in mineral deficiencies, nutrient deficiencies. So the most common cause of this eye bleeding thing is a calcium deficiency, because your body needs calcium in order to have an optimal clotting cascade. In order for your blood to clot when the blood needs to clot, and for you not to bleed, right, your body needs to have enough calcium. So if you ever floss your teeth and your gums bleed, well, that's a calcium deficiency. If you're a woman and you have bleeding between menstrual cycles, that's a calcium deficiency. If you have, burst blood vessels in your arm, that's a calcium deficiency most of the time. So there's a lot going on for this guy, because of his history, right? And so the recommendation would be, number one, he's got to stop the 10 bad foods, because that's eating consistent consumption of the 10 bad foods gives consistent inflammation to the body, which was probably at the root of why he needed the double, quadruple, sextuple, quintuple, bypass surgery, and the MDs are rubbing their hands together. They can't wait to do another one. So he needs to eliminate the 10 bad foods, and the recommendation to support and promote the structure and function of his body at this point in time would be one Healthy Start Pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, one bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, one glucogel capsule per 10 pounds of body weight per day, one capsule of glucogel per 10 pounds of body weight per day, and one bottle of Ultimate Daily capsules per 100 or 200 pounds of body weight per month. That's the Ultimate Daily per 200 pounds of body weight per month. And once you've got all that dialed in, one extra bottle of the Beyond OsteoFX calcium. He'll probably need that for a couple of months. Give him those supplements, clean up his diet, and for goodness sake, let the healing begin. Hey. You asked for ZZ Top, you got ZZ Top. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. Hoping that you tell all of those college students in your life about the free webinar tomorrow night, how to party like a rock star and still ace your exams. It's our free monthly webinar. It starts at tomorrow, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Find out more at fireyourmdnow.com. That's fireyourmdnow.com. Man, oh man, do I like the ring of that. We do have lines open this afternoon, 866-582-9933. Give me a shout, 866-582-9933. If you're listening to the podcast and would like information about what we're up to, that number, 855-347-3696. And check us out on YouTube, and you can also watch the live stream right there on the radio tab at Fire Your MD Now. We're going to go to Illinois and talk to Steve. I think he's dealing with a diabetic situation. Hey, Steve, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Yeah, Doc, I just want to say thanks for everything. You are the man. And I got two questions and one testimonial. A friend of mine has type 1 diabetes. He was diagnosed in his mid-30s. He's in great shape, everything. They got him on statins to lower cholesterol and all that stuff. And I just want to know, could it possibly be a misdiagnosis due to a gluten intolerance?
Well, you're telling me that he's been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes?
Yeah, that's correct.
And how old is he, and how long has he been, in the weeds and taking meds for this stuff?
he was diagnosed in his mid-30s, probably like 34 or something. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah. So that's really rare for someone to have type 1 diabetes in their 30s. I mean, it can happen ostensibly, but normally type 1 diabetes is baked into the cake, and it happens, early into childhood.
Exactly.
So it's entirely possible that this was a screw-up by the MDs, and, once it goes into his chart, it's always in his chart, and then they never question it, and then it becomes the 100th monkey thing. It becomes reality by consensus. Oh, it's in the chart, it must be real. And I mean, it's like trying to work out a problem with the IRS. When the IRS screws something up and it's in their system, even though they'll admit to you that it's a screw-up, it's like, oh, my God, it takes an act of Congress to get on the other side of it. So it's entirely possible, but either way, we're going to know in about 6 months here. So the recommendation is, in order to support and promote the function of the blood, in this case, in its ability to metabolize sugar optimally, it's not rocket science, that we just dial in one healthy blood sugar pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month and one bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. A little extra EFA is never a problem here. A little extra plant minerals is never a problem here. So do the healthy blood sugar pack and selenium appropriate for body weight, one extra bottle of EFA plus a month, and 1 or 2 extra bottles of the plant-derived minerals a month. Do that for 6 months. And I love helping people with blood sugar issues, regardless of what the diagnosis is, and people with high blood pressure, because these people have been trained by the MDs. It's one of the things they got right, to measure their blood sugars every day or measure their blood pressures every day. So as they're measuring their numbers every day, they'll be able to objectively see when the numbers come down, when the blood sugar numbers come down. And if the blood sugar numbers, when the blood sugar numbers do come down, then they should have been educated by their MDs to modify the dose of their prescription meds, So, they take our stuff, continue to take their meds, continue to measure their sugars objectively and see what the heck happens. And as the numbers come down, which invariably they will, they'll either be able to reduce the amount of insulin that they need, or metformin, or whatever it is they've been given, or stop it altogether. And the only way we're going to know here is to move forward in time 1 month at a time and see how low it can go, So there's no harm and no foul here. But if I had to bet whether or not it was a misdiagnosis, then I would guess that it would be a misdiagnosis. But we're going to know in 6 months. Does that make sense, Steve?
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Great, thanks. Hey, another question I had was about coconut oil. I've heard so many good benefits to it, but I know that you say that oil in a bottle, becomes or has free radicals in it or whatever when it hits the air.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Or when you're cooking it? So I want to know about, would coconut oil be as good as butter since it's mostly saturated fat? Or not, or is it just bad?
Yes, you're the smartest man in class here. You're paying attention. So coconut oil oxidizes, I believe it's the slowest of all the oils to oxidize. Coconut oil takes a long time to oxidize, but nonetheless it oxidizes, So it's interesting because the longest-lived cultures, the people that have the longest life expectancies in the world, one of the things that they all had in common was that none of them used oil. I mean, they didn't use oil in their cooking. The Sardinians were the most famous. There was a group of people on the interior of Sardinia, and Sardinia is directly off of the toe of the boot of Italy, And the Sardinians, who were among the longest-lived people in the world, they didn't use oil. They didn't use olive oil, and they called the mainland Italians greasers because they used so much oil. And this is one of the startling differences between these two cultures that live so close to each other. The long-lived Sardinians didn't use oil at all, and the people eating their Mediterranean diet used a lot of oil. It was just a regular thing for them. And by using oil regularly, they died at an early age relative to the Sardinians, who made it to be over 100. So, you know, one of the reasons that we are against oil in any way, shape, or form is because the longest-lived people around the world didn't use it. And so, you know, you can make the argument that it's a numbers game and that you can probably, if you were smart enough, dial in a way to use olive oil or, coconut oil in a way that would just kind of bring you right up to the point where it started to be harmful to you. But, you know, why the heck do it? Our recommendation is just don't do it at all. That's number one. And number two, keep in mind that the lion's share, if not 100%, of the research that's done around nutrition is done through a reductionistic methodology. So all of the studies that you've seen on people and, you know, or who are doing, coconut oil or this, that, or the other thing, they're not done through a nutritional lens. Now, here's what we should do. We should get, 500 laboratory rats. And for 3 months, we should feed the laboratory rats 100% of their nutrient needs, right? We should completely nutrify those animals so they are 100% nutrified 100% of the time for 6 months. And then we should separate those two colonies. We should separate them down the middle, and we should take 250 of them, continue to give them their lion's share of their nutrients every day, and give them coconut oil. And the other rats, just don't give them the coconut oil, continue to give them the nutrients, and then we'd be able to see whether or not there was a difference in adding coconut oil into the bargain here in a completely nutrified system. But they never do that because they don't understand that the body, even if you're a rat or a mouse or a monkey or a dog or a pig, you need 90 essential nutrients in order to, have a level research playing field. This is never done. And this is, again, why Dr. Oz is the most dangerous man in the world. Because Dr. Oz, only being trained in cardiac surgery, should only be giving advice about cardiac surgery, because that's what his training is. But when Dr. Oz starts talking about olive oil and coconut oil and herbs and vitamins and, vegetarianism and this, that, and the other thing, he has his head so far up his backside, he can't even see daylight. But nobody questions him because, he's Dr. Oz, and people think that just because someone has an MD after their name, they have the secret decoder ring to all of the secrets of medicine, and that's nonsense. So you really have to take everything with a grain of salt, Steve. And, this is a very long-winded way of saying that I've been doing this for over 2 decades now, 24 years clinically, coming up on my 25th year, quarter of a century clinically in September. And for the last 5 years, it'll be 5 years in May since I've been with Dr. Wallach, he's never wrong. Dr. Wallach is never wrong. And if I had to choose who I was going to listen to, right, either some researcher on the Internet or some researcher at Stanford doing reductionistic methodology with, coconut oil, or Dr. Wallach, I'm going to lean on Wallach all the time. Now, nobody's perfect, and I'm sure that every once in a while Wallach is wrong about something, but most of the time I'm going to go with Wallach just because, honestly, my experience with Dr. Wallach is that he's forgotten more about medicine than most physicians know. So, again, Steve, that's a really long-winded way of saying, well, you can mess around with coconut oil if you want to, but I would just leave it the heck alone. Does that sound like a plan?
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. That's a good explanation. I got a testimonial in my own life.
Oh, great. I'm all ears. Yeah, we got 2.5 minutes, so lay it on me, brother.
Oh, okay. Hey, I just want to tell you, my joints feel 20 years younger. I had arthritis. I'm 41 years old. It's all gone. My gums that were receding grew back. And ever since I got off gluten, my psoriasis that I've had drastically improved and is barely even noticeable. And I had tendinitis, and it's totally gone. And I want to thank you for all the knowledge you put out there, man. So.
Well, hey, Steve, man, you know, listen, brother, we are all in this together, number one. Number two, you're welcome. And number three, whenever we get a testimonial of that magnitude, you know, you get the great big Dr. Glidden round of applause. So let me line this up for you. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This goes out to you, Steve, in the great state of Illinois. You're the man. I mean, no kidding. This is how we do it. And, you know, if I seem tall to you, it's because I'm standing on Dr. Wallach's shoulders. And remember, you know, this is a holistic endeavor. You know, the car needs the engine and the alternator and the oil pan and the wheel and the axles. I mean, it all comes together. You know, we couldn't do this without you. We couldn't do this without you. So as much, you know, thankfulness as you have for me, and as much thankfulness as I have for Dr. Wallach, it's coming right back at you, because we are all in this together. Keep up the good work, man. I'm very proud of everything that you do. And isn't it ironic that it's not the local MD in the great state of Illinois, it's you, ultimately, who are the last best hope for your friends and family members and church members and community members to recover their health and their wealth if they want to? Go get them, Steve. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we get it done, one person at a time. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is Fire Your MD Now. Welcome back, everybody, for the final segment in today's program, August 21st, 2013. Fire Your MD Now. I mean every word of it. I'm not tongue-in-cheek there. I mean it. Fire your medical doctor now. The only thing that their training and that their therapeutics are useful for is trauma care, which they are excellent at most of the time. Remember, however, Harvard University came out with a study about 2 years ago that said the emergency room medical doctors 53% of the time are addicted to street drugs, alcohol, or prescription meds. So if you're unlucky enough to be transported to the emergency room, you better get your doctor drug tested before you let them near you, especially with a scalpel. You know, words to the wise here. Surgery when it's necessary, trauma care, and emergency medicine. This is the domain of the MD. For everything else, not only are their therapeutics ineffective and at best only able to manage your physiological condition, but they are also, what the heck, the leading cause of death and the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. When will the madness end? Well, I hope it ends today. I hope it ends right here and right now with this radio program and the Agency of Longevity, which has dedicated itself to bringing Dr. Wallach's health recovery protocols to the masses. And that's what we have. We have generic boilerplate health recovery protocols to support and promote the structure and function of your body in the face of the diagnosis of most common illnesses. Check it out. Lots of information at my website that's free, fireyourmdnow.com. Click on the radio tab. Click on the online health recovery subscription service and join us. Click on the longevity button, join us. I have a retraction to make, or not. Well, it's a retraction because we got some information wrong a little while ago. The Prohoba Omega, and again, teamwork. Gotta love my team in the back room, in the back office. I appreciate your support. The Prohoba Omega has fish oil in it. The Prohoba Omega has fish oil. The fish-free longevity supplement is called Multi-EFA. That's Multi-EFA. And Longevity does, in fact, have a shellfish-free Healthy Start Pack. They do have a shellfish-free Healthy Start Pack. Part of that is the Multi-EFA. So, Jen from New Jersey, if you're still listening, it's not the Prohoba Omega that you need, it's the Multi-EFA. That's the one which is fish-free. And you know, what can I say? Knowledge is power. Nobody's perfect. That's right, not even Dr. Glidden. How about that? Maybe I need to take some more EFAs. I think that might not be a bad idea. Well, we started out the day by talking about type 1.5 diabetes, and we're going to end it out by talking about, you know, blood sugar management that's reality-based. There was a gentleman, a medical doctor in the 1950s, who showed that he could turn type 2 diabetes on and off in laboratory mice by inhibiting how much vanadium and chromium was in their diet, specifically chromium. If he eliminated chromium from the diet of the mice, guess what? They developed type 2 diabetes. If he put chromium back into the diet of the mice, the type 2 diabetes went away. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, over 90% of the soil in the United States is deficient in chromium. Over 90% of the soil is deficient in chromium. Gee, I wonder why type 2 diabetes is accelerating. It's a mineral deficiency disease. Type 2 diabetes is rooted in mineral deficiencies. The problem here is that your medical doctor has no training, no experience, no respect, and no appreciation with medical nutrition, so they don't know this. And they're so stuck in the mud in their adherence to their methodology that they're never ever going to give that ghost up. They're never ever going to be able to see that, in fact, medical nutrition is really what's needed here, not drugs and surgery, drugs and surgery, drugs and surgery, death, because that's all that they're trained in. And again, they're intellectual cowards. They're unwilling to step outside of their box, even though one of their own brought this research to light, and this was in 1958, ladies and gentlemen, the year that Dr. Glidden was born. How about that? So if you're struggling with a blood sugar issue, the moral to this story is our recommendation to support and promote your body's ability to optimize blood function. 1 healthy blood sugar pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and eliminate the 10 bad foods. Give that a try for 90 days. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health. Looking forward to seeing everybody here, same bat time, same station tomorrow, 3 o'clock Central Time, for another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. See you then.